a German in front of a German crowd. He's actually up against a local man from nearby Hanover as well, Stefan Siepmann. Zippy, best known for his run to the last 16 of the German Darts Masters in Jena just over a couple of years ago, and he's back for more on the European tour once again. And who knows, maybe after the success of Kevin Knopf earlier today, hope springs eternal for the German crowd. But Mickey Mansell is a player who has beaten some of the best in the business. Although that said, he didn't have too much experience on the European tour last year. Although 2018 will be remembered by him as the year when he won his maiden PDC title. Maybe that feel-good factor stemming from last year will carry over and just nullify the threat of this German crowd. It's all set up brilliantly though. Cracking atmosphere here at Halle 39 on this Friday night. First round action of the German Darts Championship. Rob Malarkey watching this one alongside Paul Nicholson.
Good evening, Rob. Good evening, everybody. I hope you're strapped in for some incredible action this evening, starting off the next phase with this one.
To throw first. Game on.
I've already seen a belter with Carnick and Jamie Hughes. Had the privilege of being on that one with Dan Dawson. And that last finish from Keegan Brown, have to say, that was gutsy. Absolutely gutsy stuff when Matas Razma was coming at him like a freight train. But I think Mansell, at this point in time, not to go into it too much, but I think he's got a bit of a point to prove because of what's been written on social media about something that happened at Christmas time. I think he's out to basically tell people, I am who I am and I try every time, and I don't doubt him. I think Mickey Mansell's a fabulous professional, and he might be up against it tonight because this is rather rambunctious in here.
Yeah, it's a fairly robust atmosphere from this local crowd, but he is extremely popular in this part of the world. I mean, it was pretty manic when he made the last 16 in Jena a couple of years ago. He beat Andrew Gilding and Joe Cullen on the way before an eventual 6-1 defeat by Simon Whitlock on the final day. He also qualified for the European Open that year as well. He made the second round there. And his third and most recent Euro Tour event was last October's European Darts Trophy when he was beaten in the first round by Jeffrey Desvan. So he's not had too much experience of European Tour darts since his major breakthrough.
No,
and he'll be desperate to make the most of this.
A lot of people said that weekend he only did that because Gilding averaged 66. He had a real day off, and then Joe Cullen wasn't even very well. Well, here's the thing, that had nothing to do with Stefan Siepmann. He just had to beat who was in front of him.
Yeah. That's all he can do. That's all anyone can do. And last night, there were 4 people put in front of him in qualifying, and he overcame every one of them, including our friend the Cube, Rene Idams, in the final round. 6-5 the score in that one.
Second week in a row for Rene Idams to lose 6-5 in the final. So he's got to turn that around. And early exchanges here. Siepmann, 1 dart potentially. You've got to pick one, Stefan. That's right in the middle, double 16. Excellent. As they say in Germany, ausgezeichnet.
Absolutely. Well, if the crowd needed any further encouragement, I don't think they did, but they have it in bucket loads now. 1-0, Siepmann leads.
I don't know whether you remember, Rob. It was about 2 years ago. Remember when Mike Holtz, who will actually play last game tonight, he played in Hamburg, and he's a bit of a Hamburg legend.
Similar thing here.
Yeah, same sort of atmosphere. And Mike Holtz, when he graced that stage, I forget who he played, and it was like the mayor had walked in. I think if Mickey Mansell's going to win this game, he's got to leave himself a lot of darts at tops. That's where he does a lot of his doubling. And I've got to say, it's been a little while since I've seen Stefan Siepmann. And there are some changes in the game. He's a little bit quicker. He's cut off the goatee beard. He looks about 10 years younger. Looks like he's been on holiday as well. And looks like he's been to the off-cut of
60.
Peter Wright's trousers shop to get a dart shirt made. Got everything on there. Darts, lines, stars.
Yeah, it's a bit busy, but it's a busy performance tonight as well from Zippy. But there is the danger here that he could just get wrapped up in all of this and just start showboating or just getting too involved and making sure the crowd stay upbeat. He just needs to take a step back every now and then, just keep himself in check.
Double 13. Didn't have to go that way. He could have laid it for something a bit more robust. But maybe he likes double 13. I know a couple of people who do, and one of them is Simon Whitlock, who isn't here, even though he was potentially seeded for it. Decided to go over to the Far East instead. Is that a mistake from Whitlock? We'll talk more about that this weekend. Double 13 for Siepmann. Yep, that'll do. 2-0. It looks like Mickey Mansell's got a job in his hands here.
Well, he has, because if Siepmann holds throw, he'll be all of a sudden halfway there.
Well, in qualifying, Mickey Mansell, he did what people thought was almost the impossible job. He took out Glenn Durrant, 6'5", and that takes some guts and some ability. He averaged 97 in that game. He took out Sean Carroll as well, 6'1", before that. Like you say, Siepmann had to take out 4 people. Items, Fabian Hertz, who played last week.
6-0, that's all.
Yeah. His averages weren't massive. His biggest one was 83, but he's playing much better tonight because that adrenaline's pumping through his veins and he's got the support.
Well, Mansell's not been in great form this year in the main. Only twice this year has he gone beyond the second round on the Pro Tour. He's been eliminated at the first round stage in 4 of the 8 Players' Championship events so far. So that gives you a fairly good indication of how he is performing on the floor on a regular basis. But it seems playing in front of a big crowd, and partisan crowd as well, so far isn't really bringing the best out of him either.
Well, he shouldn't mind playing in front of Germans because he's played World Cup with Brendan Dolan before and he's done very well at it. So this atmosphere is nothing new to Mickey Mansell. I've noticed as well, Mickey Mansell is one of only 2 players that I know of that wears a watch on his throwing arm. The other one is Simon Whitlock. They're having a great time, aren't they?
Certainly are. The weekend's here.
Yeah, Siepmann throwing a very smooth dart, very similar to what Terry Jenkins used to use when he was on tour. And everybody's been talking about the great Raymond van Barneveld and his retirement and 180 of that retirement in the last 24 hours. Well, let's have a couple of seconds to remember the fact that Terry Jenkins is not on the tour anymore. What a great advert for the game he has been. Double 10 now for Stefan Siepmann. A 100 checkout for him gets him halfway to glory. And those Terry Jenkins-esque darts are definitely performing tonight, averaging around about 90, which is steady. That's exactly 50 darts he's thrown, and that's 7 up on his best average of last night. So something tonight is definitely clicking for him, but not so for Mickey.
Well, there's a gulf there, isn't there? Especially, I mean, look at that first 9 average. It's streets apart, different postcode there. Siepmann and Mansell. Mansell's not even had a dart at a double, and Siepmann has got himself into position, and he's in position now to book his place in round 2. And maybe, just maybe, it could be Jena all over again for him this weekend.
It's a strange old game sometimes, Rob, because you can throw the darts really straight, but you can never find the weight, and that's been Mickey's problem tonight. He's been very straight, but Siepmann has got the weight, and he has got the bit between his teeth as well. That's better for Mickey. He needed that answer because Siepmann was starting to fly, and he's making good decisions I don't mind that switch on 277. He's looking to square it up and potentially score that 177 to leave the ton. It's almost got the ring of a superhero's real name, isn't it? Stefan Siepmann. Because Stan Lee, the great Stan Lee, God bless him, he used to have everybody in the Marvel comics would start and finish, start with a letter and the next name would start with the same. So Bruce Banner, Peter Parker, Stefan Siepmann.
Mickey Mansell. works both ways here,
absolutely.
Though,
the Cyclone. He could be a superhero if he takes this match from here.
Well, it's not beyond the realms of possibility, and he's now looking at tops for a 4-0 lead and a second break of throw. And he's not doing a lot wrong, is he, Stefan Siepmann? 4-0. And Mickey Mansell just looks a little bit shell-shocked after that, I have to say. And if Siepmann gets off to a flyer here, it could be interesting.
So let's face facts. The German has not stopped being aggressive from the very start. The 81 checkout that he attempted a couple of legs ago is a great example of that, because he didn't even entertain that Mickey Mansell wasn't on a finish. He just went for the shot. He hit the single 19. He went for the 12 of the treble, got the treble, went for the double 13. Didn't even know what was happening on the other side of the stage with Mickey's scoreboard. Just went for the shot when he got it. And I think that shows what he's looking to do tonight. He was very focused in the practice room, and I went down about 45 minutes ago. He was very, very focused. Wasn't talking to anybody, just getting on with his practice.
Well, he's had back-to-back ton-plus checkouts, Siepmann, as well. Everything seems to be clicking into place. Very healthy checkout percentage so far as well. Mansell has not had a sniff of an opportunity so far.
Well, if Siepmann gets the treble 19 here, because I fully expect him to go downstairs. And he is. 16, he might go for the ball. Well, he got the ball.
He got the ball anyway.
But it was a setup.
For good measure. And I think he would have gone for it anyway, just to get the crowd further up.
I think he's just really enjoying this experience, because very rarely do you get games where you are really hitting everything. And for him, this is the best he's ever played. Can he get in the middle or to the left?
He's got a lovely guide with those two. Just needed to slide it underneath.
What he should have done was go in the middle and just try and sneak it under.
Siepmann, though, will return looking at double 10 for 5-0. Well, I can't believe there are too many out there who would have backed a 6-0 win tonight for Stefan Siepmann. Needs to get to 5-0 first, and he's not there yet.
Can't afford to do that. Not when Mickey's on 60.
All it takes is to salvage one leg when you're up against it, and it can give, or it would give Mansell a massive lift, and he's stolen that, and it's 4-1, and all of a sudden, one or two doubts might just creep into the mind of Stefan Siepmann.
It's
not there yet. It's a great reminder for him.
Absolutely. It just reminds him that he's not just playing himself, but he is playing somebody else as well. He does have an opponent up there who is capable. But it's been a funny all week, Rob. We've had retirement, non-retirement. We've had Daryl Gurney being the MVP in Rotterdam. Well, he just loves Rotterdam, does Daryl Gurney. And we've had the Kevin Knopp win this afternoon. We've had a fabulous week last week. Nothing surprises me anymore. And Home Nation qualifiers winning, just one of the other things that happen these days.
Well, I mean, you look at the people who reached Euro Tour finals last year: Ricky Evans, Steve Lennon, Willie O'Connor, James Wilson. You know, we shouldn't be surprised if somebody does make a name for themselves and comes from nowhere to really just make everybody sit up and take notice.
Well, last week we had 8 competitors left in the final session. we had 7 Premier League players and Justin Pipe. And that run from Pipe was phenomenal. I was actually talking to Simon Stevenson earlier on this afternoon. Had a little break at the hotel and ran into him in the elevator, and he was really pleased with that victory. He got in late last night, and his nightmare draw, he said, was first, and he got first. Well, he got it done, and now he can look forward to a game tomorrow with lots of confidence. He's going to be playing against Johnny Clayton. You might want to watch that match because Clayton's really, really in form at the minute. But Siepmann starting to regress ever so slightly, and Mickey's just getting a little bit more of a sniff.
Yeah, a little bit of a foothold here, Mickey Mansell. The winner of this, by the way, faces Jermaine Watimena. Now, without being disrespectful, I think that's the sort of second-round draw you might prefer. Watimena on his day is a very capable player, but he's a very hot and cold player, I think.
Are you trying to say that Jermaine is not someone like Van Gerwen or Cross right now?
Well, he's not, and he's very unpredictable as well. But then again, that could be a danger, or that is the danger with Watimena. On his days, he's brilliant, but you'd rather have a second-round match with him than against MVG, for example. Which is the fate that awaits Keegan Brown.
Tops it is for Mansell for 4-2. Now, Siepmann has had some good moments on finishing in this match. Can he have another? He might stay there. Well, that was probably the wrong shot. Going for the 60 for double 11 with the lie, or a treble 14, which was a larger target, was probably the shot. The likelihood is he's not going to be back now.
Well, the crowd are playing their part here, as you can hear, but it has no effect on Mickey Mansell, who just closes his ears anyway. And lets his darts do the talking.
Wouldn't that be a great thing if you could do that?
Just close your ears.
Yeah, just...
Like you're right.
Like
earlids.
Say to your Alexa, or the brands are available, of course. Alexa, can you please close my ears? So if you're in this situation and you do earplugs and you just don't want to hear them, just close my ears.
Well, close your eyes, Stefan Siepmann, because Mickey Mansell has just rattled in a 180 to really pile the pressure on. Siepmann off the ropes, though, with maybe one of his own.
I wasn't sure what this match was going to bring, you know, Rob, but it's been very good.
Well, it's certainly come to life. I mean, Siepmann racing into a 4-0 lead, I think, has actually made it a better match than perhaps many would have anticipated. It's just sparked Mansell into life. He's come up with a response. Might not have got to this stage, of course. Siepmann had chances for 5-0.
Well, if Mansell was to somehow win this match, what would that do for his confidence for this year? It could well be the springboard he's looking for. He has got to leave something doable from 181. That 126 is like a red flag to Dartmouth. Players, they love that finish. And Mickey's going downstairs. I'm surprised, but he has got the successful treble. Hasn't got the 57, no. Stefan Siepmann. So now 61 choices. Do you gamble for the 25? Do you play aggressively and hope that you've got 2 shots at double 18? Or do you go for treble 7? He's looking at the bull. Is he? No, I was wrong. He's going to bank it on one dart at his favourite double.
And he was a long way off. And Siepmann now looking at Mansell's favourite and finding it no problem whatsoever. That will settle him down no end. It's only a hold of throw, but it's a very important one. He's another step closer, 5-2.
You mentioned earlier, Rob, about how he could get embroiled with the crowd and start being a bit of a showman. Well, I've been very impressed with Stefan, and his focus has been very, very good, considering the people that he's back. Now imagine this. If he gets through this, Siepmann, because he's going to have plenty of opportunities being 5-2 up. Imagine what Watimena is going to be in for tomorrow in here, when there's going to be twice as many people. say one thing, the crowd are getting behind everybody tonight. They were getting behind Keegan Brown, and then they were getting behind Maras Razma, and they were just embroiled in that first game with Titus Karnik and Jamie Hughes. It's almost like they didn't have time to cheer for anybody. It was that quick. But this one, I think there's no secret behind who they are cheering for, and he's nearly there, and Mansell has to go 4 straight to deny them a bit of glory.
That debate there about being on 61, it reminded me of what Michael Smith was talking about last year as well, when he was playing Adrian Lewis in Denmark, I think, and he just regretted straight away not going for treble 7. He normally does, but he was almost possessed and something took over him, and he went 25 and then had to go 18s and 9s, and as soon as he went that route he thought, why have I done that? And it really bogged him down, and Lewis came back and he said it was a real moment of madness that just seemed to totally envelop him. And Siepmann there has raised your eyebrows as well.
Yeah, he's on 275 and he's got 19s. I have no idea why. 275, you stick on the 20s. If you get 80, you go bull. 25 or bull leaves you a finish.
265, 19s.
Absolutely. Unless he thought he was on 265. But 275, you don't go 19s. It's just a rule.
Mind you, I miscounted on 19s myself in the previous match involving Keegan Brown. I put that down to a moment of madness where I was just taken over or possessed by some evil spirit.
Well, Mickey, in order to beat your opponent, you've got to deny them any match darts. And by the looks of it, you aren't going to do that, because Stefan Siepmann should get 1 match dart minimum.
Well, okay. Going around the houses. Oh, but he finds it on the button, and Stefan Siepmann, full of surprises, isn't he? And maybe, just maybe, the spirit of Jena of 2 years ago is alive and well once again here in Hildesheim. First it was Kevin Knott earlier today in the afternoon session against Scott Taylor, and now it's not KK, it's double S. Stefan Siepmann through to the second round to face Jermaine Watermaner. A pass on the back from the beaten Mickey Mansell, but the crowd have further reason to celebrate here at the German Darts Championship. And Zippy zips his way through into round 2.
Steffen, gratuliere dir. Jetzt mal ganz ehrlich, die haben das gesamte Match hinweg nicht angefeuert, als gäbe es keinen Morgen. Das ist unfassbar. Was für eine Stimmung hier ist in der Halle 39 und die Bude ist gerade mal halb voll. Wie hast du es selbst erlebt?
Einfach ein Hammer. Ich habe es ja die ganze Zeit gehört und die haben mich sowas von gepusht. Das eine Leck, wo ich oft doppelt so viel vergeben habe, das tut mir leid, sorry, aber beim nächsten Mal wird es besser.
Ich hatte die Sorge, obwohl du 4-0 vorne warst, dann das Leck noch abgibst, dass er noch ein bisschen reinkommt und plötzlich Ärger macht. Aber du hast es zum Glück hinten raus noch gebogen.
Ja, ich habe mir gesagt, jetzt musst du nur jedes deiner eigenen Angriffe holen und dann ist gut.
Jermaine Watermaner wartet. Ist in einer guten Form. Spielt gut auf der Pro Tour in diesem Jahr. Schneller Spieler. Was erwartest du?
Ja, dass ich wie vor 2 Jahren gegen ihn gewinne.
Okay, das lassen wir so stehen. Dankeschön. Stefan Siepmann. Damit haben wir den zweiten deutschen Spieler in der zweiten Runde nach Kevin Knopf. Jetzt also auch Stefan Siepmann.